Good evening, everyone. Oh, wow. It is already January 13th. I'm sure you guys are just feeling this time speed up so fast. Not only that, I feel like I feel like we have more energy. There's more like momentum going now. I don't know about you, but I haven't been able to sleep. Not very well, anyways, but not bad, like not feeling bad. Or even feeling tired. It's very strange. So very high energy continuously. And I have to say the readings, you guys, you're coming to me for these one-on-one readings, and they're just the questions, the topics, and then the visions that I'm seeing your loved ones. It's just so intense. And the real fascinating part of this is that you guys know how I usually will use the crystal ball and hold it and really concentrate, or pull cards and things come through. That's not even a thing now. It doesn't even I don't even need that. So it's really fascinating me how fast these images are coming. Your loved ones on the other side are showing me visuals. I had a woman today, and I'm sure she might be watching, but oh my gosh, she confirmed for me it was her first car. It was like her love of her life is on the other side. And he showed me a silver, old time, vintage, beautiful Camaro. And so I'm like, what is, that's what I'm seeing. That's what he's showing me. And she confirmed, and that was her first car. And she couldn't believe it. But all day it's been happening all week since I was on. I was on yesterday for a short little video, but it's fascinating. So I know for a fact that yes, as we continuously feel this time speed up, it's not just that, it's also us evolving, and also becoming, I feel like this is for a lot of us, we're just becoming so much more connected to spirit, connected to the other dimensions. It's like merging. We're getting closer and closer, I feel, to like the new earth and what exactly that's going to be. And there's many different theories out there, but I feel like it's going to merge with us as the evil disintegrates on the planet here. And we're watching Donald J. Trump, our president, our very fine president. We're watching him do that, dissolving the evil, and with all his men as well. So everyone's in their places in the Trump administration. Now, there's still some baddies in there that need to get out, and they'll be exposed, and he'll get rid of them. But for the most part, I can tell you that they're all in their places. And there's also, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. So much since last week when we did a geopolitical show. I had to make some notes, so Tim Walz resigning, which, hallelujah, good riddance. I think the real one's already taken care of, but yeah, that's good to know. Tim Walz, get out of here. But also the food pyramid got flipped by RFK. And then we have Greenland. Greenland will become part of the USA. Definitely know that. Trump is also sending the military into Greenland. I'm going to play a little clip also. We're going to get into some of the hot topics, like the headlines. We're going to get into that. I'm also going to do a reading. We're going to channel and see what information that we get coming forward, and to see what's in store for the week. Because I will be back next Tuesday as well for another geopolitical show. And then Wednesday, I'm flying out to California. I will be flying to LA, actually. And I have a little project to do there. And then I'll be going to my brother's and seeing Miss Avery Grace, my niece, and Jason and my mom. So that's exciting. That will be next Wednesday. And then but I will be doing a show Tuesday right before I leave. But I'm very excited because I have a little project planned. It's a sort of a project surrounding Hollywood. So I just want to let you know that. I will be very careful, but please, prayers are always welcome. Please, pray for safety and all of that. Looking forward to it though. But you know who else is also doing, he's actually out there right now, is Benny Johnson. So Benny Johnson is out there in California, taking down Gavin Newscum. So this is so exciting to me. And you know, this has been in the works for quite a while. I made this little image here because Benny likes to use him as the Joker. So Gavin definitely is a clown Joker, destroyed California. And it's all the ruins that are there in Hollywood, especially. Yeah, number one homeless state with the most homeless, the most destructed, corrupted state is California. But Benny Johnson, you all know I'm a huge fan of Benny Johnson, but he's out there in California and he's taking him down. Gavin actually, so Newscum attacked Benny actually, and I wonder if I have that. There's just one post, but there's many posts. So they're actually harassing Benny Johnson, which, you know what? That's actually good because it just gets Benny more, you know, attention from people that didn't know about him yet. So it's actually genius. So I'm looking for that post. But anyways, so I can't find it. But they're harassing Benny, Gavin is, because of all the corruption that the investigation that Benny and his team are they're going to show everything and really take him down. And I believe he's going to go to prison. He will be arrested. Newscum will be taken down completely. Now, I believe, and I know a lot of you also agree, that the real Newscum is already taken, you know, and taken out. But whoever is playing him, whatever clone, because clones are evil, that only the cabal makes clones or makes them programmed to be evil as the real one was. But and this is just my theory, but I do believe so. I believe the real one's already taken care of. But whoever this crazy Joker is, they've got to get rid of him too. This clone, or whatever it is. But also happening, just I think it was a couple nights ago, they had a ridiculous Hollywood award show. I'm sure a lot of you heard of this too. It's going around. It's just ridiculous. But anyways, so I know a lot of you were writing to me. Oh, what is her name? She's a comedian, supposedly. She's not even funny. Wanda Sykes. Yeah, it was Wanda Sykes at the awards. I don't think I have a clip of that either. But anyway, at the awards, the Hollywood Awards, they're having all these clones there and reptilians. And you guys were asking me. You guys were writing the emails. I guess you were watching it. You know, is she a reptilian? Is Wanda Sykes a reptilian? Absolutely. And I believe we already pulled on that. We discovered that. Me and Jason actually discovered that. You know, our first shows that we were doing were about Hollywood and the stars and how corrupt they are, and all into the trafficking and the blood and all the sacrificing and all of that stuff. So selling their souls, all that stuff. So yes, all of them are bad. Hollywood is dead. Hollywood is over for what it used to stand for, which was a facade because they were doing all these bad things. So part of my project is based on Hollywood. So yes, I will also be out in California. Benny Johnson is already there, taking down Gavin Newscum. And also, because I know a lot of you out there, a lot of Californians, if there is fraud that you want to report, fraud@bennyjohnson.com, send it there. Even politicians, if you have information about any people that even tried to get into politics or that know things, anything, any kind of ties to any corruption, that's where you want to go. Fraud@bennyjohnson.com. But also any requests for my Hollywood, I guess you could call it not a documentary, but it's a project. Yeah. starcanashores@gmail.com. If you have any requests that you would like me to go over about Hollywood clones, reptilians, stars. As you all know, I did do a Hollywood show on Beyond Mystic for a while there. So anything similar to that, you know, kind of investigating, you know, and the questions that you would bring me all the time. We kind of went over everybody. That's why I haven't done it in for so long. You know, but there is going to be a project on Hollywood now. So if you have any requests, go ahead and shoot them over to my email, starcanishores@gmail.com. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. So yeah, next Wednesday, I will be in LA. But anyways, let's play a clip right here. I want to go over some of the headlines. So the headlines here, we're going to start first. Let's actually go right there. Yeah. So I'm going to start here. Benny, already out there in LA. Here's a little post he made. I'm just going to play it since we're on this topic. Here we go. Whoops, there's no volume.
Is a line of broken down campers where presumably people are just living in the streets. It's just a block from the airport, and well, welcome to the city of angels. There are no angels here. In fact, there's just a welcome party of, well, I'm not exactly sure what this is. Looks like something that Cousin Eddie would drive Christmas vacation, but I'm hungry, so let's go ahead and grab something to eat, shall we? This looks like a great restaurant. They take EBT. Fantastic. Right on the corner. It's time to go get something to eat. I mean, look at all this. Could eat here. Except for, well, there's a grotesque doggy bed, and then there's also, well, this. Okay. Extremely appetizing. Extremely. This is exactly where I want to take my kids and family to eat, right outside of the airport. LA is ready for the Olympics, man. Get ready. We're ready for it. Yeah. Remember, they spent $24 billion on homelessness. We haven't even left the airport yet. Yo, what's up?
Yeah, it's so much worse than that. I mean, it's everywhere you walk, everywhere you go, even right outside the airport. And I will show you guys that too. Right when you walk out the doors of LAX, it's chaotic and bums, and it's horrible. It's really sad. But it's been destroyed. I mean, it's been a sanctuary state for so long. So Gavin Newscum has been harassing Benny because Benny has highlighted this, that he's going to do the huge investigation on all this fraud. So I'm sure you guys have seen it, but there's posts to Benny about, oh, it was already corrupted and there's been so much fraud, when Trump was running the other time. So he's trying to pin it on Trump, of course, right? But it's going to be a great show. All the shows that he's going to be putting out about California, you don't want to miss. So I know I'm not going to miss it. But it's also part of the takedown and getting rid of Newscum, the energy of Newscum completely. In order to save California, we have to get rid of the evil, whether it's a clone or not. It doesn't matter. I believe it is a clone. I believe the real one's already gone, but we have to get rid of the destruction and all the terrorism that they've caused. And also all the fraudulent, with the fires and not rebuilding the homes or helping the people that have suffered and lost their homes and their lives. Like there's just they haven't done anything. So they're going to expose all of that. Also the fraud, also where's all the money been going? That's all going to get into some really dark things. And not only is it California, but there's also the ties. California is a hub. It is a main hub, especially LA, for the trafficking, as you all know, the underground stuff, all connected to other states, other politicians, and so on. And so many different leaders of even other years and other periods of time. So going way back. So it's a huge exposure, but this is just one opening crack to the case. I mean, it's all over the country, but the biggest hub is California. So they got to start there. But it is part of Trump's plan. He's a part of this. This is all the guys are in their places, and it's all over the country. That there's going to be major mass connections will be exposed. Another thing I would like to play is about Greenland, another headline. Okay, so Greenland, and it's another little, Another clip I have, actually, it's of Trump, but Benny did cover it, so I'm going to just play his because it's so good. But it's about Greenland, and yes, I believe Greenland will be of the USA. And let's play this clip in case you missed it.
That rings like a bell. Reporters peppering him with questions. Why would you ever want to conquer Greenland? And Donald Trump shuts them up in a magnificent masterclass, 90 seconds. This is why the man's president. And one of the best presidents to ever live.
We are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. I would like to make a deal, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way. And by the way, I'm a fan of Denmark too, I have to tell you, and they've been very nice to me. I'm a big fan, but the fact that they had a boat land there 500 years ago doesn't mean that they own the land. We need that, because if you take a look outside of Greenland right now, there are Russian destroyers, there are Chinese destroyers and bigger. There are Russian submarines all over the place. We're not going to have Russia or China occupy Greenland, and that's what they're going to do if we don't. So we're going to be doing something with Greenland, either the nice way or the more difficult way.
Mr. President, why is it so important to you to own it when you have a military presence there, which you could expand to affect security?
Because when we own it, we defend it. You don't defend leases the same way. You have to own it. With a nation, look at what happened with Obama, with that horrible deal they made with Iran. It was a short-term deal. It was like a 9-year deal. Countries can't make 9-year deals or even 100-year deals. Countries have to have ownership. And you defend ownership, you don't defend leases. And we'll have to defend Greenland. If we don't do it, China or Russia will. It's not going to happen. We are not going to have, and I like China, I like Russia, I love the people of China, I love the people of Russia. I get along very well with President Putin, but I'm very disappointed in him. I get along very well with President Xi. I'm going to go over to China in April, but I don't want them as a neighbor in Greenland. Not going to happen. And by the way, and NATO's got to understand that. I'm all for NATO. I saved NATO. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't have a NATO right now. But we're not going to allow Russia or China to occupy Greenland, and that's what's going to happen if we don't.
In case you ever wondered why America...
Absolutely. So I'm very excited for that. It's all going to work out. It's all part of Trump's plan. Everything that he has his intentions set on, it's going to happen. He's going to have that. So I don't have to pull cards on it, but I know a lot of you wanted me to. So I'm going to go for it for you about Greenland. All right. So Greenland, I have a flag. I made a little thing. Greenland, USA. But yes, it is happening. No doubt about it. But let's see the energy around it. Let's do a reading on it. Okay. Here we go. He's going to take it over. But let's see the energy around it. Beautiful. The Knight of Wands. Okay. And if you're just now finding out that I have a new deck of cards, I do. This one is my brother, the Knight of Wands. And so this is a huge yes, that definitely Greenland, part of the USA. Also, we have the Page of Swords and the Magician. Okay, so there's also bigger plans for Greenland. Okay, so what he's going to do there, it's going to be better for the people. He's going to it's like he's going to revamp Greenland as well. And help them out. But also, this is going to be a domino effect for the other countries. I believe Canada, for sure, is going to be a part of the USA, too. And why I'm saying that is because not only do I believe it, but and feel it, but the Magician card. Okay, so this is something, it's part of a master manifestation, master plan, I guess you could say, of our president, Donald Trump. And he's always had this idea. He's a businessman and he's thinking so much smarter than many of us. And he's already figured this all out. So he's definitely, like we have said before, he is the king of peace. He's going to make peace for the world. And this is one of the keys to do that, which is Greenland, Canada, and then he's going to merge them into the USA. But it's beautiful, and he's on his way to accomplishing, and he will always be labeled as the peace, the king of peace for the whole entire world peace. But yes, it is a big yes. I have a few other questions that you guys were sending in. So I believe I do have some more headlines. We have some Q tie-ins. We have Truth Social to go over. But before we do that, let me pull up some of your questions. There's only a few from your emails. Here we go. So medbed rumors. So there's rumors. Now, you all know that, you should remember that Trump, our president, he shared a post about medbeds. Okay. And it was up for about 18 hours. And this was months ago. So this might have been late summer, I want to say, of 2025. But it was up for about 18 hours and about the medbeds. So they definitely are not a fake thing. And I know a lot of you believe in them, and I do too. But now there's this rumor that's been going around that you guys want me to check on. January 15th. So will medbeds be available, released, talked about? Will there be a highlighted event surrounding medbeds on the 15th of January? That's 2 days away. Let's take a look. We have the 10 of Wands and then the 2 of Cups. Okay, so not the 15th. 10 of Wands would be a no, but we also have the 2 of Cups here. So it is coming. The 10 of Wands is a good indication that it's coming, but it's not for the 15th. 2 of Cups, I do believe. So that means they're in connections. They're getting this plan together. They're getting ready. They're collaborating. They're getting everything they need ready to release to the public in a way, a sort of way to not be. I feel like it's not going to be too much information at one time. That's what I'm getting. So they're not going to overload the people, the American people. They're not going to overload so much information. They're going to release a certain model, and this certain model that's first released, it's not the grand one, okay? It's not the one that's going to fix and make you, 30 years younger. So it's not the deluxe, the grand, okay? That's what they're telling me. There's different models that they will release, but the first one that they will be releasing is something about stem cells, to regenerate stem cells and to help. That's what they're showing me. They're showing me it's to regenerate. So for health reasons, of course, yes, but not cosmetic. So that's what they're trying to say. For health, but not cosmetic. The first ones that they release. The cosmetic med beds will be released later on. Okay, so much later than the health, healing, frequency, high technology med beds. So, but it's not on the 15th. But they're in talks. They're getting things together in order to get this going. Now, is there a time frame? I know you guys like to know time frames, but remember the spirit world and here, they know that time doesn't exist and the calendar's fake. They know all this is not. But what we can ask is a zodiac time frame. Okay, zodiac time frame, a season, spring, summer, winter, fall. When can we hear about this? Okay, when will these first edition med beds be released for the American public? Here we go. Queen of Swords, so that's air, and then now I'm getting earth. Okay, earth and air. So there's going to be 2 releases. So I'm feeling that's more of like Gemini, May, June. Okay, for the first release, May, June. And then I also think a little bit later on, okay, like a little bit later on May and June. So it might even be a little bit later, the end of Gemini in June. Now, they gave us earth energy. I'm not feeling Taurus, though. And I know Taurus is soon, but I'm not feeling it. I feel like that's more Virgo energy. Virgo, Gemini to Virgo, somewhere in between there. So it is, we have still time to wait, unfortunately. As much as I would love it to be the 15th, like the rumor that's going around, I wish, I'm sorry, but that's not what I'm getting. I believe we still have a wait for that. And that also goes for, because I'm being asked every single day about a market crash. Okay, we might as well get into the financial just a little bit. Just a little bit before we get into other things. But the market crash, no, I don't. I've been asked this several times over the past few days, especially. No, I don't see a crash coming. The official crash all the way down. I don't see that happening. I'm sorry, I don't. I know other intuitives, you guys have told me, see it. I don't feel it. I'm sorry, I don't agree. No. And then silver, I have to go over silver real quick because it's so cool. But it hit 88 today. My favorite number because I am an 88. But yeah, I love it. Silver. Okay, still, so 88. Let me get to the top part here where it said, yeah, it's $88 as gold price steadies. Now, remember the prediction I have made, also Lance Shuttler made, $100 silver. You're going to see silver at 100. Okay, and then you're going to start to see, not right away, but you're going to see it go up even higher from there. But 100 is very soon and very likely. Now, there's some people, I know you've come to me and you said, well, some people are saying 500. It's just going to shoot right up to 500. As much as I would love to believe that, that is not, I haven't felt that. I've also channeled with my grandfather, and he would tell me if that was real. But the 100, yes, he has agreed with that one. But it's on its way. It's doing amazing. So if you can get more silver, I highly advise you to. Definitely. I mean, because who knows? In my opinion, I feel like it's going to keep climbing, and it might not be 88 again for a very long time. Just saying, I really feel that. Sure, it'll fluctuate a little bit. It might go to 86. It fluctuate in the 80s a little bit, but I really don't think it's going to drop back down too low. I really don't. It's going to stay in the high ranges. But anyways, so before I get into other things, yeah, we have a few other topics to go over. So another topic that was going on, right? It's a big, oh yeah. So Renee Good, the woman that, attempted to murder an ICE agent with her car and run him over. Okay, Renee Good, the one that got shot, blah, blah, blah. She was paid. She was a setup to harass ICE. Okay, she's part of many that were paid to harass. And, she's a liberal. There's so many liberals that are hired to harass them. So this was all set up. I just wanted to throw that out there to you. But many of you have already asked me in the one-on-one readings. That's why I don't have to pull cards on it. This just comes natural. You just know. Intuitives, when you're very connected, you just know. You don't need tools for certain things, especially something like that. Definitely put on. Also, we went over Wanda Sykes as a reptilian. Absolutely. So at the award show, wearing a pin, a lot of them were wearing pins to support that liberal. But it was a huge, from what I observed, it was a huge award show full of reptilians and fake, people, programmed people, clones. But yeah, the crazies of Hollywood. Anyway, so let's get into something else. So let's go back a little bit towards, let's go before we hit the Q post. Let's go to the housing market. Okay. So my housing market prediction, a lot of you have been asking me, I will pull cards again right now, but a lot of you in the one-on-one readings are asking me about the housing market because a lot of you are deciding to move, and a lot of Californians, congratulations to all of you that are moving out of California, have been coming to me lately. And I do these geography readings. So if you're not sure where you want to move to, what I do is, and for some of you, I did look at your birth charts, and then I also redid your birth chart with the original calendar, not the Western astrological calendar, but the real one that we don't go by right now. But you can definitely see, even on your original one, you can kind of see, even in palm readings, you can see it where you would have your best quality of life, where to live. So I've been doing a lot of these lately. And the biggest question is, well, what about the housing market? I know I should move. I know I should be in this other location, this other state. But what about the market? When is that going to change? So I am getting all these questions about it. It's a hot topic right now. So let's do a poll on it. All right. And I want to see if it's actual comparison to what I've been getting with you guys one-on-one. So for the collective, the housing market, what is the message from Spirit about the housing market? Here we go. Wow, the Temperance card. Okay, so beautiful. So yeah, this is about balance. So Trump's working on balancing this out and then lowering it. So he's going to get it to an equal, like I'm hearing the word meridian. He's trying to get it to a balanced, comfortable spot. And then once he gets it there, he's going to be able to lower it. We're going to get housing prices back to what they truly should be so that more people can afford to buy versus rent. Then we have the King of Cups, Trump himself, and then the Three of Swords. So yeah, he's very disappointed in what has happened with the housing. Okay, of course he is. So that's his main goal, is to help families, especially the younger generations, 20s, 30s, early 40s, that they can't afford a home for their families, and they're deciding not to have kids because they can't afford a house. So this is a major issue. And then there's people renting that it's just as, even here, it's just as much to rent as it is to pay a mortgage with a home. So yeah, he's working on it. Three of Swords. So they're giving me a 3 for a time frame. King of Cups, and with that Temperance Angel card showing us great balance, happiness, and fulfillment. Okay, you're going to have emotional fulfillment. You're going to be comfortable. We're all going to be able to afford to buy a home. That's happiness. That's fulfillment. The Three of Swords, they're just giving me that number of the 3. They're also giving me air. So within the next 3 months, we're going to see housing market changes. The prices change, decreasing to a balanced level. And then even after that, he's continuously trying to bring it back down. So I would say the best time for the housing market is going to be early summer. Early midsummer is going to be the best, when we're going to see it really get better and like, wow, okay, we're going to see it before then start to turn and like, okay, cool, it's going down, it's getting better. But summertime is going to be when we're really like happy and relieved and actually can see the light at the end of the tunnel with the housing market. And I think even carrying on into the fall, it's just going to continuously get better. But yeah, all of these things take time. So we just have to be patient. But that's what I see for the housing market. And then let's see. So XRP, gold, silver, might as well do all this. XRP, gold, and silver. So gold and silver, we already kind of talked about. Now gold, let's do a reading for gold and silver. They kind of follow each other. So let's see the energy with the cards if Spirit would like to share with us a reading, a message about gold and silver. The Emperor and the Three of Coins. So gold and silver, it's going to continuously impress us and go up and do well. Okay, you're going to see it continue to impress you. Gold and silver. Now, what about XRP? What is the energy around XRP? Here we go. The Star card and the Fool Adventurer. The Adventurer card is my new Fool card. It is barren. And we have the Star card. Okay, so this is Aquarian energy. So we're going to see XRP do really well. We're going to see it. I feel like it's going to go up once we hit Aquarian season. And also Pisces. I'm hearing Pisces are telling me too. So Aquarius starts very soon. We have a new moon coming up, Capricorn new moon. And then it's going to turn into Aquarian season. And then that's going to carry us into February. And then February to March is Pisces. So that's where we're going to see XRP do very, very well. So I'm looking forward to that. Let's see now, we're going to just jump right over to foreign currency. Let's see, what is the energy? What is the message? What does Spirit want to share with me to tell you for foreign currency? Are we going to see that take off? We're going to see foreign currency take off as well. Beautiful. This is so cool. Okay, so the moon card, we also had the 3 of swords. Okay, and also he came back to us, the King of Cups. So we're going to see some fulfillment here when it comes to foreign currency. So those of you that hold it, hold on to it. Don't lose it, because it looks like it's going to follow through for you. And guess what this is? This is Pisces energy, the moon card. Also the 3. They're showing us that within the next, I would say, so Pisces season is kicking it off. You're going to be happy with foreign currency. But if you hold on to it, because the next following 3 months, you're going to see some really amazing, I feel like you'll be able to get more out of your foreign currency after Pisces season. We're going to start to hear about it, though. It's going to be talked about. It's going to be, the momentum building in Pisces. But then with that 3, it's January now, so February, March, April. February, March, April is when it's really going to be spicy for the foreign currency. It's going to be really good. Now the RV. Okay, a lot of you asked me about the RV. When is that happening? So many people that I talk to are just waiting for this RV to happen. They're actually putting their life on hold. So you don't want to do that. Don't put your life on hold for the RV, for XRP, for any of this. Continue on with your life. Don't wait to do things for yourself, and, take care of yourself. Don't just assume that, well, when that comes, I can do everything. No, you got to work for yourself now and make things happen. Make some financials happen right now, But the RV, here we go. Let's take a look. The spiritual teacher, the Hierophant, the Page of Wands. So we had Taurus energy, okay? Taurus doesn't happen until April, May. And then we also have the Page of Wands, the 6 of Cups. So it will be giving, okay? There's going to be giving meaning an increment with the RV. So you're not going to get all the money. There's redemption centers, appointments, stuff like that. I believe in all that, but it's not just you're going to go to an appointment and be served all this billions of dollars. That's not what is going to happen. That's not happening. So the RV is happening, but not the way that we actually feel and think and have been told that it's going to happen. I can tell you that. I have channeled that so many times. It's not going to be the way that we've all been told. And there's a lot of energy surrounding increments. You're only going to be allowed a certain amount per payment. It's not going to be all at one time and fix everything and change everything. No. They can't trust people, even good, very good people. They can't just give it all up. And same with the strawman accounts. It's the same thing. I've already done this every day. Almost every person asks me. But the strawman accounts are the same way. And I was also getting April, May, June for the strawman account. So it's all kind of spring energy. But that's also the same thing. You're not going to get everything all at once. It's going to be, they have a system for all this system. But for those with humanitarian projects, which is every single one of you that I've talked to, all of you have projects. And they will be accepted as long as, they make sense, and whoever you're talking to at your appointment, so some will be turned down, but some will be accepted. But yeah, that's all going to happen. That's all a play. It's all going to be played out. But I feel like, Spirit is really trying to tell you guys not to put your lives on hold. Don't, yes, keep thinking about it, imagine it, manifest it, but don't let it interfere with your goals. You have to have current goals right now, because these things could very well happen even later than what I'm getting right now. There's these delays that continuously happen. Other intuitives have said, like, we had what about the med beds, the 15th of January? That's not happening. There's other people that throw out dates all the time, and then it never happens. So that should go to show this, whoever needs to hear that, if you're putting your life on hold, if you're wanting, like I talked to someone today, wants to start a business, and he has everything to do it, but he's like, but the RV, I heard that it's going to happen in 2 weeks. So I don't want to start this business. And then that happens. And then, then I'll just have to let that go. And I wasted money with it. And, and I'm like, you know what? I pulled cards for him. I just felt it too. I didn't really have to pull cards, but he doesn't need to put his life on hold. Spirit has guided him to do this beautiful business that actually helps people. And why would you want to put that on hold just because you think, because you heard from some podcaster that it's going to happen in 2 weeks and you'll be set for life, So I'm talking about that. If you have a great idea, something you believe in, don't get discouraged just because you heard someone somewhere say, oh, well, the RV's coming in 2 weeks, or the EBS is happening in 3 days, so don't travel. Same thing goes for that too. So many people, and I can honestly tell you the EBS is not happening in January. That's another question I meant to put up there because all of you were asking me one-on-one question with the Zoom readings that I'm doing. No, it's not happening this month. There is going to be more activity with military, though. There's going to be a lot of, in certain cities, there's a lot of different things that are going to be going on. But, it's not going to affect each and every one of you to travel. And it's not dangerous in certain areas. Certain areas will be, but you already know where they are. They're all the Democratic, such as California. So, yeah, I'm going next Wednesday, but I'm not in any danger with flying out there. But come maybe a month from now, I feel like there's going to be some heavy activity going on there. And just certain areas, yes, there's going to be some military, possible civil, not civil war, but just fighting and protests. Of course, we already have that. But just nonsense. There's going to be some chaos in certain areas, but I'm just letting you all know that don't live in fear. Carry on with your lives and, use your intuition and feel it out. Like if you feel that there is possible danger, is that coming from you or is that coming from someone you listen to that's putting fear out there? Are you being influenced by someone that is in fear? Or is that trying to spread fear to get you to watch them and get addicted to their shows? Because that's a real thing. It gets people an adrenaline rush to where they want to watch everything they see about something happening. That being said, there has been, yes, another attempt. Someone tried to bomb our president and assassinate him again. Okay. So there's another threat that was released a few days ago. And also it goes in alignment with a lot of people out there, astrologers, other intuitives that have said that Trump was going to be taken out in February, which is not true. I have channeled this many times. Not true, not happening. The attempt that just recently happened, I bet you anything that is what they were sensing. It was just an attempt. I'm sure there'll be another attempt. He has these all the time. And they don't even report them all, but it happens all the time. But he will not be taken out. So whoever's spreading that, they are false information. I just have to let you know that. Spirit's working with me right now. They're really pushing this. They don't want you all to live in fear or to listen to certain things that are spreading fear, because then it makes you second guess your travel plans, makes you second guess, just daily things. I had someone the other day, because I'm getting married May 24th. I had one of our soul drivers the other day. She was very fearful because of something she watched. And she's like, you shouldn't get married in May. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be like civil war and it's going to be so chaotic. And that's when we're going to have the blackout. And she was just so much in fear and enraged and upset. But I did a reading for her, and luckily I calmed her down and helped relieve a lot of that stress for her, because none of that's even happening during that time. If anything, it would happen before then, or the timelines are completely shifting, and Trump is shifting timelines to prevent chaos You know, he's trying to make peace. He's not trying to make chaos and make lives difficult and dangerous. So keep that in mind. But whoever needed to hear that, Spirit definitely wanted me to push this little topic tonight about going for it, whatever it may be that you want to do. Start a business, anything financial, especially. Don't just wait on this RV, the strawman accounts. They're going to happen when they happen. But don't have any great ideas of starting a business or, making something for yourself, of yourself. Don't put that on hold. Do it, But anyways, let's get back to some cool topics here. So we did the financial part. Now I'm going to jump on over before I sign off here. I'm going to go to the Q posts that I wanted to go over. So these are circulating. They're circulating out there, and it's great. So the storm has arrived, hence my thumbnail. The storm has arrived. Everyone's in places right now to take down all the bad guys, all the evil. The arrests are coming. I want to pull on that specifically, the arrests, okay? So this is an old Q post, but it's circulating, and even the Department of Labor has, on X is spreading it too. But also keep in mind, just because the public is unaware of something does not mean nothing is happening. Okay, so that's one of the biggest things that is on this Q post. But also I want to share another one with you. But the arrest we're going to pull on in just a second. But I have another Q post I wanted to share. Here it is, from the Department of Labor, okay? Trust the plan, patriots in control. I think I brought this up on the last one, but this is a different one. Whoa, I'm trying to enhance the picture here. What you are about to learn should not only scare you, but intensify your resolve to take back control, take back freedom. The information that will become public will further demonstrate the criminal and corrupt, pure evil, abuse of power that the Hussein administration undertook in joint efforts with domestic and foreign. I can't see that word because it's so small away from me. The snowball has begun rolling. There is no stopping it now. Stay the course and trust the plan. Okay, so they're reminding us. It was dignitaries was that word. It was just so small I couldn't see it. Dignitaries. Listen very carefully. Note past 2 years, okay? You were told what was going to happen. You were told what battles we face. Strategic, pre-planned. Patriots in control. Q. This is being shared by the Department of Labor, the official, okay, over on X. Patriots in control. Trust the plan. So going back to what I was talking about, don't live in any fear. Don't let fear stop you. Just continue living your lives, of course, safely, and be as cautious as you can and safe. But don't put your lives on hold. Do what you got to do, and trust the plan. Trust Trump. Trust everyone. They're all in their places right now, and they're all about to bust these guys and take them all down once and for all. And the arrests. And I believe we're going to see these arrests. Public arrests. Okay. So I'm going to pull cards on that. The public arrests. How far away are we from the public arrests? Here we go. 2 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. Not far at all. And then we have the World card. Endings and new beginnings. And that's going to take us into what we call our new world, our new country, our beautiful, he's making this country an empire. He is the emperor. So he's making this so much better than it's ever been. Your lives will be better than it's ever been. But we're getting the 2 and the 3. Okay, so it's very soon. 2-3 months possibly. Within that time frame, seeing many people be getting arrested. So they're going to play this out within the next 2-3 months. We're going to see some arrests. 1 by 1, 2 at a time, all of them. I can feel it. I can see it. I can see they're lined up. There's a lineup of them. And they all have cuffs on. They're all going to be taken down. But yeah, the perp walk. That's what they're saying. Whoever is telling me that. Awesome. It's happening. And another thing, before I go, I am going to do a crystal ball reading with the small one and just see if there's anything from my grandfather that he would like to share. He loved Trump. He loves Trump, I should say. And another thing about him, my grandfather, he was always on to the medical system and how fraudulent, corrupt they are. He was always on it. And I was a little too young to really understand really what he was talking about. But now that I'm older and I'm all into this now, I understand. And looking back, I'm like, wow, he knew. Like, he was going after the doctors. He was going after everybody because, trying to nail them, because he knew that they were trying to make him worse off. Than they were doing corrupt things to him. And it's sad the way it ended, because unfortunately he was in the hospital towards the end. And we were all there to see him and everything. But he did tell us to go home. We had been there for quite some time, visiting with him. And he's like, "Oh, go home. I'm good." And he seemed good. He seemed coherent. He was fine. He was the best we'd seen him in a few days. And so we did. We listened. We went home. But at that time, I wasn't into the spiritual. I didn't know I had the abilities. But at that time, my instinct, my intuition was telling me, "Don't go." I heard it. I heard, "Don't go." And but I didn't say anything. I was just not. I didn't know that anything about my intuition or anything. I just didn't know. That was a message. And I wish that we had stayed, because unfortunately, we had gone home. And then the next morning, I think Jason went to see him by himself, first. He woke up first or something. So he got there, and I believe he told my mom, because my mom told me, was I came downstairs, but she said my grandpa was all bruised, and he's not talking anymore. You can't talk to him anymore. And he was fine. We had just seen him the night before. He was totally fine. But when we got there, he was all bruised, his whole body, which he didn't have those the day before. And what the nurse was saying to us was that he tried to escape or something, and he was put back in his bed, and he was like, I guess, kind of fighting it off or something. So anyways, he probably just didn't want to go back in there, and he didn't like that the person was trying to tell him what to do. He hated the whole medical system, because he knew how bad they were. He was already on to them. I remember him writing, I think he was going to sue them. He was really working on something serious to sue them, go after them. This was before the end time. This was like maybe a couple of years before the end time. He survived prostate cancer, but then he caught on to the medical system, but he knew how bad they were. But anyways, what happened, because I know what happened, and this was one of my first, I have to say, this was one of probably my second, the second time of my psychic ability. So we were there with them now, right? Okay, so we stayed there. We watched over him. We knew we couldn't trust the nurses, the people overnight team. We couldn't trust them, because obviously he's been beaten. He was hurt. They did something terrible to him, and now he's not talking. And it was horrible. It was so horrible. And so I actually had fainted, I remember, when a nurse came in, and I just couldn't handle that he was okay. And then this morning he's not. And because he was perfectly fine, and he was even walking the halls the day before. They beat him up so badly. And so I don't know why, but I fainted. I was just so upset. But also that fainting, I think, was connected to what happens next. So a few hours later, I actually fell asleep holding his hand. We were at his bedside, and I had a dream. I woke up from this dream, but in the dream, he was showing me what happened. He told me what happened. So his consciousness merged with mine, and he was telling me what they did. And yes, he did. He stood up. That's all he did. He stood up out of the bed. And this male nurse, Latino male nurse, I remember what he looked like, okay? And so he came in and he saw him out of his bed, and then he tried to put him back, but he was too rough with him, and he was upset. This man was angry. This man was very on edge, going into his room, coming after him, like aggressively, like get back in the bed, and like really roughing him up. Was very mean to him. But my grandfather also showed me that he lost his balance because the guy was so rough with him. He lost his balance, and then he hit his head. And he hit his head on the hard tile floor of the hospital. And also a metal pole hit him. And then he was struggling to get off up the floor. He couldn't on his own. And this guy was manhandling him. My grandfather was about 6'1", I believe, and really skinny at that point, but he was still pretty strong. I mean, his legs he looked great. He looked strong still, but I'm sure he was trying to defend himself, and I'm sure whatever they gave him made him a little loopy. And so he really felt assaulted. And that's what he was trying to show me, that this guy basically beat him up just because he walked by and saw him standing up, and just forcefully. And then he hit his head, and then he lost consciousness, and that's why he couldn't talk anymore. And hitting his head caused a brain bleed, and that's what took him out. He stayed a few days in that state of not talking, but that dream was amazing. I woke up crying, I remember, and then I told my mom. She was right there, and Jason was right there. What he told me, what he showed me. He reenacted it. He showed it to me. I have the chills right now, but he showed it to me, and how it all happened. And they beat him up. The hospitals are horrible. So, and we promised our mom we'll never put her in a hospital, never. But back then we just didn't know how bad it was, But he did. He knew the whole time. But he hit his head. The man made him hit his head. He was fine the day before, and he was walking the halls and doing just fine. But that was like the first vivid transaction that I had with my grandfather, when he was on that bed, his consciousness merging with mine, and he was showing me what happened and what they did to him. And it's sick that we don't even have justice for it. And I know a lot of you out there can relate to this. And I am so sorry if this is something that maybe triggered your emotions as well. I'm just so upset with the whole medical system, because I know they do this to so many people. So many lives have been taken. They killed them. My grandfather was killed in that hospital. They put him in that state on purpose. That guy did. And then the whole hospital team covers for them, of course. But they were not watching him. They were not taking care of him. It's horrible. So I feel for anyone out there. I know a lot of you have gone through this. It's horrible. It's sick, and they all need to pay. But I feel like I don't need to close my eyes right now, but I feel like my grandfather's trying to tell us too that there will be justice. There won't be any more, like, they're not going to make money off of, the jabs and stuff. They're not going to have any more power. The power of what they've corrupted, the murder, because Trump knows about this too. He knows how they murder off, especially the elderly, the medical system. They do. Even the children, they make them sicker than they actually are. They make everything And you all know, I don't have to get into it, but he's trying to tell us that there's justice for those that you love that have also gone through something similar. He's really trying to share this tonight through me. I'm reliving it, and that's okay. But he's telling me that that was the first time he connected with my consciousness, and then ever so after, he's saying he always has. He's always been connected to me. And I know that. I feel really like he's been there in every accident, and he's saying yes. So car accidents I've survived. I've survived getting beat up by a guy a couple times. 2 different guys, unfortunately. He was there. He's trying to share this with me. So he's also saying that your loved ones on the other side, they're protecting you. They're with you. They're with you in the worst crisis, the worst times. Someone out there, he's telling me that someone out there that's watching right now was almost in a car accident. She had her little girl in the back seat, but she was also saved. He interfered with someone's accident. It was the uncle. It was someone on the other side. It was also a woman. So a woman's spirit and a man's spirit interfered in that. So if you were in an accident, you had almost an accident, and you had a little girl in the back seat, that's who he's talking about. And there was a woman and a male spirit interfering so that you would not get in that accident. So he's showing me that that's how they interfere when they know it's not your time yet, but the evil works through people around you sometimes, or people on the road. Yeah. He's showing me that there was a spiritual attack on me this last car accident in March. Spiritual attack. It was definitely not your time yet, or your fiance's time. He interfered with that accident. So we were coming home straight. Luckily, Brian, my fiance, was driving. We were coming home straight, and this guy playing on his phone, a rich kid, in an SUV, he was driving this way, and he wasn't looking. And we had the right of way. We were going straight, and he turned so fast. He was making such a fast turn, and boom, right into us. It hit the driver's side where Brian was, but not a scratch on him. The driver's side and the front end smashed, totaled my beautiful car. Anyways, I'll get another one. But that was a spiritual attack. And he just said, we don't want you on the road for a while. So spiritual attacks can attack you through accidents using other people on the road. But I'm not trying to spread fear. He's just telling me that that's what happened there. And that's good. You know, he's trying to share this with you all to know, so you know that your accidents may be things that almost happened to you. He's trying to confirm that for you. If you felt, he knows a lot of you felt angels were there, you know, a loved one was there to help you. It's true. They are there. They prevent these things from happening. But wow. So I didn't really have to use the crystal ball. He just came through. He wanted me to share the story of how we connected I connected with his consciousness for the very first time. And that's when he was in his bed, you know, at the end there. That was the first time. But also that the fainting that I fainted, that had something to do, I had to go through that, I guess, in order to come down, to weaken my energy to fall asleep. That's what he's trying to say. Yeah. Let me see if there's anything else. I'm going to use the cards. He does like my cards. So let me see. Is there any other messages you'd like to share with everyone tonight? the Knight of Wands, and I'm hearing messenger. Continue to be the messenger. He's sharing with me. Seven of Wands, Magician, and the Page of Pentacles. So he wants for all of you, he wants me to continue to be your messenger, the messenger for him, to help all of you, okay? And he's sharing love, you know, he's sending love to all of you as well. He wants all of you to feel love. Also, look at your family members. Even if you're in a feud right now, remember why you love them. Remember that they're family, and in the end, that none of that even matters. So he's trying to remind you of that. If you are in a feud right now with someone, remember why you love that person. You know, and it's blood, it's family, especially. Like, just send them love, even if they're hating on you right now. Just send them love, pray for them, you know, move past it. He wants you to move forward. He's saying move forward. Then there's the Magician, the Page of Pentacles, and the Seven of Wands. So continue to manifest. He wants me to be the of course, manifester. Yes, I will manifest. I continue every day. He wants me to continue to be a messenger to all of you, to encourage you to manifest, encourage you. He's saying to be the leader. Okay, lead these people. That's what he said. Lead these people into knowing that this isn't all there is, and that it is granted if you ask and it comes. But you also must believe in it. You have to believe in yourself, but also believe in what it is that you're trying to attract and bring in your life. Yeah, for sure. Very cool. Matching the frequency. Exactly. But anyways, thank you all for being here. I know this was a long one. I will be back on next Tuesday. And if I have any time in between, I'll put something out. But please go to my website if you're interested in a personal reading. It's arcanashores.net. You want to go to my website. And I have openings. So openings all the time. I continuously try to update the system so that you guys can get in right away. I'm looking for my link for my website. It's not even there. I'm sorry. But it's arcanashores.net. I still have specials going on for one-on-ones. An hour is only 100, and 30 minutes is only 50, and then express readings only 33. So you can't beat it. And I like to brag that, I know, but you really can't. You can't beat that. And what I'm giving, and I'm giving my best, and what comes through with your loved ones as well. So I'm so happy to help. I'm so grateful that I have this ability to do so. And another thing I want to share with you guys is my music channel, since that's popping up. But my music channel has new songs on it. And yes, inspired by my fiance, who I'm going to be married to in May. But there are 2 beautiful songs out on Kristen Lee Music. Check it out if you haven't already. Take a look into that. Acoustic versions are coming soon. I personally like singing acoustic more. I know it's a little more rough, and it's raw. It's just like you could do it at home. Not in the studio, but I like that raw sound, acoustic sound. So those are coming out of those songs too. Stay tuned. But thank you all for being here. Much love. Can't wait to see you guys in one-on-one Zoom readings or phone calls. I love working with all of you. So I'll see you soon. Bye. Have a good one.